What's up, everybody? This is Dan Physics from Ex Machina Soundworks here in Brooklyn, New York, and today we're here with the one and only Lenny Dee from Industrial Strength Records. How you doing, man?
Oh, very good, man. Very good.
Cool,
Thanks for
cool.
having me on
Yeah,
this. It's really amazing.
yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here. It's be a fun conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, I guess we'll get right into it. Just start with can you share a bit about your background and how you got started in music production?
Well, I was like intrigued by records, and how all the stuff I was reading, mixed by this, mixed by that, and I started to become a DJ, and I got quite successful over the time. But I was producing electronic music while going to school to engineer and interning at studios. So I pretty much got hammered with so much information at 18. And I just started, I started out to wanting to be a mix engineer. Next thing I know, I'm a producer. So, almost 1,000 tracks later, record labels, all kinds of things I've done. Yeah, it's quite a journey.
Hmm. Well, what were some of your early influences?
Well, Arthur Baker and John Roby. I would definitely have to say Kraftwerk, uh, Chris Barbosa, Shep Pettibone for all those mixes. I came in from a DJ side of things, so I was looking at people that were doing more dance records at the time. So yeah, I really started digging deep and then started getting further and further into electronic music. And I just haven't stopped since
Hmm.
then. I'm
Right.
still going. I'm the locomotive
Uh,
that could.
well, okay. So, can you tell us about a project that you're particularly proud of that you worked on?
Yeah, well, the new Industrial Strength 30-year compilation, the company is actually 32 years, but the
Right,
COVID, we didn't want to do it.
right.
And we thought putting 32 years would be a little bit idiotic in a way. So we went
Well, but the COVID time's just 1 year, anyways.
yeah, it's the blip, Nobody,
Yeah.
nobody really knows. It's too old for the young people to really know about it. But we've got it. We're hitting the charts. I think we're number one on Juno right now, and on some of the other platforms like Hard Tunes. And yeah, I've just been working on some techno stuff. I got a new hard techno release. It was a remix of "I Called You on Third Movement" that got to number 7 on the hard techno charts on Beatport. So, lot of great projects, and just working with some other artists, just trying to help them produce the records, basically. And then I get them on their way, and I start again.
It's a machine, right?
No, it's a machine. One day it's slaving away, and then the next day it's like, wow, what a great track! I did it in like 3 hours. It's up and down process.
Hmm. So, well, how would you describe your approach or philosophy to music production or mixing?
Song first, or electronic music, the idea, the theme, that's always really the main bit. I like to write music really fast. So for me, the speakers have helped that a lot because I don't really like to use plugins right away, because if I don't have a track, there's nothing really to affect. So I tend to go about it like, okay, sometimes I don't even start with the drums. I could start with percussion, or if it's a vocal. But taking in what's in here and putting it in there is sometimes easier said than done. But I've been working on so many different genres and so many different things, and the sample packs. Well, that is a new thing every day. Like, I'm going to be working with Bashiri Johnson, you know, taking all his one shots and then amplifying them with analog gear and curating the best ones. So that's going to be a freaking huge job. And when I'm done, I'm sure I'm going to be so proud of that. It's 700 drum shots.
Wow.
Please
Wow.
send me some money. A penny a one shot. I'll be happy.
So $7.
Yeah. So about it's the album. But we're doing, I'm doing a lot of different work. So I'm proud of the sample packs for sure. And some of the new tracks we're working on at the moment are really sounding good, because I'm making a good portion of some of them, and the speakers have really, it really puts me in a better place to send them to my partner, who adds his stuff and ultimately will probably master it all.
Right.
So,
Well, I guess that. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, it's been an eye opener for sure having
Right.
these.
Well, I guess that leads me to the next question that we probably have overlapped a little bit on, but that's fine. Can you explain how Ex Machina's speakers have impacted your work? Like, do they provide any unique benefits that other speakers don't?
Oh, 100%. I definitely nail the EQ a hell of a lot better. The mid-range allows those frequencies that on other speakers that I'm sorry that it's just not there. I mean, it is, but you don't get that impact. So when I'm looking for EQs, and whether I'm boosting or cutting, I'm actually preferring now to boosting, because I'm hearing these things I never heard before, and I'm like, wow, that might be sounding really good, a little shinier, or the way it's just basically the way I approach the listening of it all, and it's stunning. I have also noticed when I have phase problems, I've noticed that more so than any other speaker. Like, you can just hear it. It's like, hey, what's going on here? And that is uncanny for me, and I've tried all different monitors. I have a small room, and what's great about them is, well, I could listen at low volume. That it doesn't really impact the way they sound. Like on some monitors, when you take them lower and lower, I don't know, they get you can hear them a little bit more skewed, I guess. So with these, even though they're 8-inch woofer, I could hear crystal clear. So it actually, gives my relationship with my neighbors a little bit more longevity. And also reverb tails. Wow. You could just hear so many of the effects much different, and the balancing comes much faster.
Well, I guess could you share an instance where using Ex Machina speakers made a noticeable difference in your production or a mix?
Oh, it's like out the gate, really. Everything. I'm hearing bass that I really wasn't hearing before. I'm hearing like that low mid, with really nice shiny high end. It makes producing music a dream, because like I feel like I'm getting a full spectrum sound. So especially like what I'm working on now is more of this hard electronic noisy stuff. And believe it or not, on these speakers, you can actually make it sound a lot better. You just hear what's kind of there. And if it's not there, well, it's not there. So it's been making my work a lot easier, especially when I have to commit to tracks and bounce them down. Sometimes in the past, I wouldn't bounce the EQ, or I would be a little unsure of if I have enough bass or enough mids. But now, I could do the dynamics and make a bounce, and I don't even have another set of speakers. I took the other ones out to really learn these, and I don't miss it at all. I think it's just the way it makes me work. Like, I'll notice a really bad sound right away, especially on the bottom end, which is kind of what I was missing in from the last sets of speakers that I had.
So are there any upcoming projects or collaborations you can share with us?
Well, the next few things are some techno singles. We don't have homes for them right now. The new EDC party that I played, I have to make a lot of new tracks. I'm actually working on one right now, but I DJ'd last night, so the party is over. Today is going forward. I got 2 weeks off before another party. Like I said, the Bashiri Johnson projects are going to be really good. That was all recorded in Manhattan. And we have a couple designers doing it while I slave at the one shots, but mostly techno projects, and some remixes of some underground artists like C System and stuff on the label on Hard Electronic.
Cool. Cool. I guess lastly, what's the best piece of advice you've received in your career, and how has it shaped you as a music producer?
Less is best.
Less is best.
I don't know who told me that. I think it was Nile Rodgers. Oh no, and then Arthur Baker, which I had the privilege to work for as well. But I was his production assistant, and he'd always be like, why do you want to be an engineer? He goes, you're a producer. He goes, they want to be you, and you want to be them. He goes, get it out of your mind, Len. And hey, he was right. And even Nile Rodgers, was the same. He's like, he heard some of my production stuff really early on. I was an assistant to an assistant to an assistant.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. But I'm surprised how much different coffee orders I can get right in one shot. And carry them all back was a
Right.
studio talent that is less taught nowadays. But yeah, it's really my advice to anyone is just to keep going. You got to start songs, finish them, take the good with the bad. And I've had bad, and I've had great, and I've had good, and the records you don't see from me that I think probably didn't stand the test of time. You probably don't know them. Sort of like every artist or mix engineer, you don't hear the other mixes nobody's talking about. So it's yeah, I think just really have a steady pace, get the best monitors, the best, converters, a great computer, or just, and just go from there. I got analog gear again, thanks to Alto Music. I don't know if it was a good thing or a curse, but I'm loving it. I'm already hearing I need another one to do this and then do that, So yeah, working in the box, it's definitely achievable. But since I got the analog gear, that's really helped a lot as well. But I think you need dedication to the work. You got to go in with some sort of idea and try not to copy every little thing. A reference is just to give you an idea. It's not to make the same exact record, because that's a physical impossibility, and to try to stay creative. That's the one thing I'm pretty good at. I just think I have a lot of ideas, and some of them work and some of them don't, and then maybe I come back to it. So nothing is lost. And using sample packs and other things to make tracks, I'm doing it all the time now. It speeds up everything. I make the damn thing, so I might as well use them,
Right.
And that has been helping me engineer a bit more, because it takes a little time off the sound design. The sounds are already there. So if you're a young producer that really wants to, that's like a DJ that doesn't make music, this is a perfect outlet. And if you're a musician and you just don't have the drum sounds you're looking for, you can get yourself underway faster. So using the tools out there is a must. Not because I sell the packs,
Right.
just because it's part of my workflow now. And I think some people will get online and go, oh, that's cheating. And I'm like, well, when you bought that drum machine plug-in and hit the kick drum, that must be cheating too, because it's made by somebody. It doesn't magically appear in your DAW, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good. It keeps you creative, loads of stuff. I think producers now are, hey man, the sounds and the sonic chops they're up there. I just think, maybe some of the music itself needs to expand a little. That's what I'm trying to get into now. I just made some sample packs that were very musical. Maybe to get it out of my system. I don't know what. I did this with a friend of mine, also Dan. Yeah, the packs are very interesting. I think just expanding and moving around now is a good thing to do for anyone,
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I've found over the years myself, like one of the hardest things to coming up with synth sounds and like melodies was never super difficult, but it was always problematic getting drums right. Like even having a 909, like just because you have an actual 909 and you hit play doesn't mean it's going to sound like it needs to on the record. It's like there's a whole lot of work that goes into that. So
totally. Well, this is with any sample, guys like that make hardcore or techno.
Hmm.
More so, these styles are experimental. They're creating their own drums from a source sample, and they constantly use like 10 or 20 samples, and then they just know how to design distortion, or adding that width or whatever the hell they're doing to it, or making things mono and crushing them and doing all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I'll be honest with you, since I run the sample pack company, I already did all the work, so now I'm just using the stuff. Plus the other designers make so many packs that it's like, I'm listening to them going over to see if there's any pops in the files. I'm going, okay, I'm taking that, I'm taking this. Yeah, the creativity of just getting the samples as opposed to just sitting there with the same plugin trying to make a new kick when you have, and you can use, I use the packs to make a new kick, because the start points are really great. I can just get rid of that whole process if I want to actually do different things to the drums or layering. And I've been using that time-align program quite a bit on the samples. When there's more than one sound and we're making one shots. In mixing as well, that's what's great about the speakers. I could hear that before that was getting skewed in some way. So I was okay. I knew the phase was right on certain things, but I didn't really hear how far away these speakers make it sound. Like you could hear it. It's like, oh man, I can get that closer. And so I've been doing things like this in layering, because instead of doing it by hand, magic plugin, put it on, and it's like, yes, it works. Get the balance, print. And that's what's great about these speakers. I feel like I can commit to an audio track sooner.
Yeah. Well, I think it speaks to what a lot of people miss, I think, or lose sight of, and that it's whether it's a sample pack. If you find that kick drum that you're like, that kick drum's a kick drum I want to start my track with, or you're using vocal line or auto align, or you're using anything as a tool, that's what it's there for. It's there to be a tool, help you get the job done faster. And I feel like people they kind of lose sight of that to some degree.
Well, that helps me, because I do work. Like I said, I like to work fast. I can get I'll give you an example. It took me maybe an hour or two to find samples and just try them out. And then I say, okay, I'm done for the night. Yesterday, I jumped on the track. Everything was there. Just boom, 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 arranged. So the start points, what I'm picking out, can be used as is, or it can be elevated. So when I'm using the speakers, I can really hear now when the files are interacting, where some of those problematic frequencies are, where, it's really that the mid range that you got. Wow. It just blows me away. Basically, I haven't had that since I was a kid with a stereo system that was big like that. What, not even Toshiba. I don't even know the brands anymore, but it's really really good. And I edit quite a bit of shit, to be honest. I'm editing songs for my DJ sets. Wow, the tracks that I think sound really good in many cases they don't, and tracks I don't think that are sounding too good sound really good. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here?
Right.
It's going from my little laptop to there, and it's like, wow, big change.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, I guess we'll finish up here. Is like, where can people find out more about you? Like social media, website, etc.
Oh, you can see the tracks on Spotify. You can go to loopmasters.com, Industrial Strength Samples, to see all the audio products. We're on iTunes, Juno Music. You could definitely check us out on Facebook.
So like Industrial Strength, record.
Industrial Strength or Lenny Dee. It's all intertwined together now, because there's just too many things to. I have a Facebook artist page, so that's there and ready to go.
Nice. Wow, that's great. Well, I really appreciate you doing this.
Right.
And Yeah, thank you for your time today, and we'll catch up soon.
You know it. I'll be in the
Awesome.
shop looking at stuff I can't afford to buy. Right on.
So it's always a curse, right?
Always a curse. It's always a curse. Just when you think you got it all, there's always one more little thing nicking up in there. Well, look, have a great day, and yeah, we'll speak soon.
Awesome, buddy. Take
Thanks,
care.
man. Ciao.
Cheers. Ciao.